Hi, Maria. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing this morning?
I'm wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah, definitely. I can tell you a little bit about myself. So, I like to call myself a bit of a multi-potentialite or a Renaissance woman, depending on the day. There are lots of identities to myself that I'm really proud to possess, and the one that I most often like to discuss is that I'm the founder of Philotimo Life, and I'm an entrepreneur within the death and grief literacy space. So, what that looks like is I provide corporate trainings to people leaders and organizations to provide them the skills that they need to better navigate these conversations that can feel often really challenging, but are often also very necessary to have. We will need to have these types of conversations and engage in these discussions at some point in our lives. And I want to make sure that we're taking care of each other both inside and outside of work. And I also ensure that lots of this work is tied into a D&I framework because the way that grief shows up and is navigated in different communities can be incredibly different.
hmm That's true. And what made you decide to pursue your business?
Yeah, so I guess my origin story is my mom died when I was 2 years old. And in hindsight, I realized I was navigating different frameworks and different systems very differently from my peers. In the moment, it didn't feel that way. Um, and now growing up, as a result, I want to say because of everything that happened in 2020, I realized that, man, there's a huge gap in the way that we have these discussions, how we navigate these situations that arise. We truly lack the skills in regards to death and grief literacy. And I was looking for resources at the time, I remember, and there were no resources that appealed to honestly a younger audience, a younger generation. And I I took it upon myself to bring that to light.
hmm And can I ask, how did you fund your business?
Oh, are we gonna edit this?
Um, I can cut it. It's meant to sort of be unedited.
Oh, okay. Um, for that one, so the business is entirely bootstrapped, I'm happy to say, um, just from myself.
Okay, excellent. And what have the barriers been in terms of your entrepreneurial journey?
A few of the barriers that I've had throughout this journey is meeting people where they're at in the moment because of this type of work. A lot of people really try to avoid. They're either very much avoidant and don't want to have this discussion or conversation,
Mhm.
whereas some people, as soon as they hear it, they're all about it and they want to learn more. So just having to navigate that little bit of a balance in terms of having those discussions and broaching the topic, I would
Yeah,
say has been a little bit of a barrier.
I see. And how would you like to see your business grow?
Oh, I would love the ability to bring in these workshops, these training sessions, and these coaching sessions
Mhm.
on a more consistent and frequent basis to organizations and businesses. Um, Hitting that point, that would be the main one. There's a lot of other pathways and avenues that I want to go into, but those are quite a few years out.
Okay. And what's kept you motivated during your, harder parts of your entrepreneurship?
I would say definitely my loved ones and my artistic practice is what keeps me feeling very driven and motivated during these
Okay.
hardships. So being able to pour my heart and soul and emotions either into a canvas or a new piece of art, or being able to do the same with my loved ones is truly like an honor that I'm very, very thankful and privileged to have as an individual.
Mhm.
And I would encourage anyone else also looking for this type of motivation to also find something that feels really healing to them. So whether it's art or kickboxing or like nature walks.
Yeah, yeah, I can relate to that myself.
Yeah.
um, so, what's one piece of advice that you could offer others who would like to follow in your path?
My advice to others would be to connect with as many people as possible,
Mhm.
to follow your gut, and to also say maybe before saying no. And when I say connect with as many people as possible, I don't mean superficially connect with people in the hopes of getting something in return. I really mean like connecting with people in a way that makes them feel safe and seen and healed and appreciated and even loved. When these types of connections are actually created, such beautiful things can happen and begin to like transpire that even you maybe didn't even expect.
Mhm.
And same thing when it comes to following your gut. Oftentimes we like to rationalize thoughts and feelings away for something really logical. We like to think it's really logical. And there are moments where that's totally needed. And I encourage you to listen more to that little voice in your head and see what it's actually saying. Um, and then finally, for say, maybe instead of no, that was actually something one of my mentors said to me. Don't close yourself off to opportunities. Listen to that little voice because it may be telling you to do something and you're trying to rationalize it away. So just give it a little bit of thought before saying yes or no.
Mm, that's great advice. And what made you join the Canadian Women's Chamber of Commerce?
I decided to join the Canadian Women's Chamber of Commerce because one of my mentors, actually, KSD, she's actually part of the organization and she really encouraged me to check it out. And I also saw some incredible women who are also joining. So I wanted to be part of it.
Wonderful. That's great. And what else can I say? Can you just tell us or reframe again, like your area of expertise and how people can touch base with you, get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can. So you can reach out to me for the corporate grief trainings and coaching and
Mhm.
workshops, as well as reach out to me about podcasting and anything and everything digital marketing related. You can also find us out. You can also find out more about us on Philotimo Life, either on our website or on our social handles. So that's PHILOTIMOLIFE.com or on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. And you can also find me personally on LinkedIn just by searching my name. And you can also reach out to us for any D&I support that you may need.
Wonderful. And are there any final words? Anything for our
Thank you.
listeners?
Thank you so much for having me. This was such a lovely morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria.